Dorilla the Gorilla used to believe one thing. If you worked hard, saved enough, and retired quietly, you'd be safe. That was the plan. And for a while, it worked. Dorilla built his nest egg, carefully stacking bananas, investing in fruit trees, even owning a small patch of mango land deep in the forest. At 65, he retired. No stress, no noise, just peace. But one morning, everything felt off. The price of bananas doubled. Water access limited. Even resting under his favorite tree now came with a maintenance fee. Dorilla sat there confused.
How am I losing money when I'm not even working?
Then he looked around. Other retired gorillas were quietly going back to work. Not because they wanted to, but because they had to. 2026 wasn't the retirement they were promised. Years earlier, Dorilla had a friend, Saru the monkey. Saru always had hot tips.
Relax, Dorilla.
Saru said one day, swinging from branch to branch.
You saved enough. Just sit back. The system will take care of you.
The system?
Dorilla asked.
Yeah, forest benefits, fruit pensions, automatic banana drops.
Saru grinned.
That's what retirement is.
Dorilla wanted to believe him, and honestly, it sounded good. So he stopped learning, stopped adjusting, stopped paying attention. Because Saru made it sound like retirement was permanent. Fast forward to 2026, Saru still talking, still giving advice, still broke. And Dorilla now staring at shrinking savings, wondering how he missed something so big. Dorilla didn't lose his money overnight. That's the dangerous part. It was slow, quiet, almost invisible. Every day, things just got a little more expensive. Bananas, shelter, healthcare herbs. But his income? It didn't move. His savings stayed the same, but his buying power kept shrinking. And that's when it hit him.
I didn't run out of money,
Dorilla said quietly.
My money ran out of power.
This is what no one tells you about retirement. In 2026, it's not about how much you saved. It's about how long your money can survive. Dorilla had planned for 20 years, but the world changed in 5. And now, the math no longer worked. That's why, across the forest, retired gorillas weren't relaxing anymore. They were returning. Just as Dorilla started to worry, help appeared. Or at least, it looked like help. Kitsune the fox. Smooth voice, sharp suit, always smiling.
I've been expecting you, Dorilla,
Kitsune said calmly.
You're not alone. Many retirees are struggling in 2026.
Dorilla leaned in.
Kitsune lowered his voice.
But I have a solution, a guaranteed income system.
Guaranteed. That word hit Dorilla like fresh fruit after a long winter.
No risk, high returns, passive income.
Kitsune continued.
You'll never have to worry again.
It sounded perfect. Too perfect. But fear has a way of making bad ideas feel smart. Dorilla hesitated, but then he thought about rising costs, shrinking savings, and going back to work. So he invested a large chunk, and for a moment, it felt like he had solved everything. At first, the returns came in, small, steady, reassuring. Dorilla smiled again.
Maybe I was wrong to worry.
Saru, the monkey, even showed up again.
See, I told you, easy money.
Saru laughed. But then, one morning, the payments stopped. Dorilla waited. A day turned into a week into silence. Kitsune? gone. No office, no answers, no system. Just a disappearing trail into the forest. Dorilla sat still, not shocked, not angry, just empty. Because deep down, he knew it wasn't just the scam. It was the desperation that led him there, trying to fix a long-term problem with a shortcut. And now, he wasn't just struggling, he was behind. That's when Dorilla met Kame the turtle. Slow, calm, no flashy promises. Kame listened quietly, then asked one simple question.
Dorilla, do you want fast results or lasting results?
Dorilla sighed.
I just don't want to run out of time.
Kame nodded, then stopped chasing speed. Silence. Then Kame continued.
In 2026, retirement isn't about stopping. It's about adapting.
Dorilla frowned.
But I'm too old to start over.
Kame shook his head.
No, you're too experienced to ignore reality.
Then he explained.
You don't need to gamble. You don't need guarantees. You need income, protection, and flexibility.
Kame drew 3 lines in the dirt.
1. Income that continues, even small but steady. 2. Assets that fight inflation. 3. Spending that adapts to reality. That's how you survive and win in this new forest.
Dorilla looked at the lines. For the first time in a long time, this didn't feel like hope. It felt like truth. Dorilla didn't go back to his old life. He didn't panic, and he definitely didn't chase another guarantee. Instead, he made a simple plan. Step 1, small income. Not a full-time grind, not stress, just something consistent. Dorilla started managing a small fruit stand near the river, helping younger animals price fairly and avoid waste. It wasn't glamorous, but it brought in steady bananas. Step 2, protect what's left. He moved part of his savings out of sleeping piles and into productive assets, fruit trees that could grow, not just sit, assets that adjusted with the forest, not against it. Step 3, cut silent leaks. Subscriptions, hidden fees, wasteful habits. Things Saru once called small stuff, but Kame called them what they really were. Quote, slow leaks that sink strong ships. And something interesting happened. Dorilla didn't feel retired anymore, but he didn't feel trapped either. He felt in control. Across the forest, others were still struggling. Some did nothing, hoping things would go back to normal. They won't. Some chased fast money, looking for another kitsune. They'll find one. And some listened to Saru, still talking, still confident, still wrong. Here's the truth most don't want to hear. In 2026, retirement is no longer an off switch. It's a phase of strategy. If your money doesn't move, you lose. If your income stops, pressure builds. If your plan is rigid, reality breaks it. Dorilla finally understood. The goal isn't to stop working, it's to stop depending on one fragile plan. Kame kept it simple. No complicated charts, no jargon. Just 3 rules Dorilla now lives by. 1. Always have at least one income stream, even small, even part-time. Income equals time bought back. 2. Make your money work harder than you do. Assets that grow, adjust, produce, not just sit and shrink. 3. Stay flexible. Cut when needed, earn when needed, adapt early. Dorilla now wakes up with purpose, not pressure. He works a little, earns a little, protects a lot, and most importantly, He doesn't pretend the world is what it used to be. He plays the game as it is. One evening, Dorilla sat under the same tree, the one that now charged a maintenance fee. He smiled, not because things got easier, but because he got smarter. Around him, more gorillas were coming out of retirement, some scared, some confused, some already too late. Dorilla couldn't change the forest, but he could change how he moved in it. And maybe so can you. Because the real question isn't, when will you retire? It's, if your retirement stopped working tomorrow, what would you do next? Let me know in the comments.